أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ ولدا ولم يكن له شريك في الملك ولم يكن له ولي من الذل وكبره تكبيرا. أحمده سبحانه وتعالى على نعمته علينا، وهو المحمود بكل لسان، وهو المجيب دعوات، ونشكره على كل إحسان، وهو الغفور الرحيم. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله نبي الأمي صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه صلاة وسلام دائمين متلازمين إلى يوم المعاد. عباد الله، إن الله تبارك وتعالى يقول: إن الذين قالوا ربنا الله ثم استقاموا تتنزل عليهم الملائكة ألا تخافوا ولا تحزنوا وابشروا بالجنة التي كنتم توعدون نحن أولياؤكم في الحياة الدنيا وفي الآخرة ولكم فيها ما تشتهي أنفسكم ولكم فيها ما تدعون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. We thank Allah, the one that does not have a child, neither parents, the one that does not have supporter or associates. He does not have a council that he consults, and he doesn't have anybody that he depends on that he takes decision from him, or when he takes decision that the person will ratify. He is the one that deserves to be praised at all the time. We thank him most sincerely for his blessings on us, especially those that we refuse to appreciate nor acknowledge, talk less of thanking him for it. Oh Allah, forgive us that we did not know, but we thank you for your mercy on us, because we know you are the one that deserves to be thanked at all the time. He's also the one that accepts all the prayers when it's called upon. We thank him for all the good that he has done for us, because he's the one that forgives and also blesses after his forgiveness. We testify that there is no other deity worthy of worship beside him. And we also testify that our noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam is his messenger and servant. Peace and blessing of Allah be upon him, those who follow him, members of his household, until the day of Qiyamah. O servant of Allah, Allah tells us in Surah Al-Fussilat, ayah 30 and 31, that those who say that Allah is our God and they stand by it, Allah said the angels will depend upon them. I'll be letting them know that you have nothing to fear and nothing will give you sadness. And we'll also be giving them the good news about paradise that Allah has prepared for them. They will be giving them assurance that we are your companion in this life, as we are still going to be your companion in the hereafter. Allah said those who do this, that everything they request for, their heart's desire, Allah said it will be given to them. It is a promise that Allah has given to them. O ye who believe, fear Allah, and always say the right thing at the right time. If you do this, Allah will cleanse you of your bad work. He forgives you of your sin, and whomsoever follow Allah and his messenger has indeed been given the greatest of all the gifts. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. We thank Allah and we are sincerely grateful to him. We appreciate him for his mercy and blessings on us. And that we pray that Allah, who is the all-knowing and all-seeing, will continue to be with each and every one of us as a nation. Our topic today, many of us will know the reason why I've chosen this topic. The topic is depression and the Islamic way out. You will have asked me, why did I choose this topic today? My intention was actually to discuss the Gaza-Israeli war that is going on. But wallahi al-azim, I do not have the strength of watching a picture that is coming from that area. Where the one I watch, for me to know what to say, I broke down and I nearly got depressed. That says human being that they are being treated this way. In fact, talking about it is also giving me depression. And I believe there will be so many people like me who might not have that strength of watching or being able to withstand that kind of a depression that we see every day. As if that was not enough, we all know the way the country is with us in this country. How challenged we are all. I called a friend as I was coming to the mosque now. I said, are you coming to the mosque? He said, Imam, I do not have money for fuel, that I will observe my prayer at home. Can you see the level at which we are? So it means there is no way, even when you are not hearing what is happening in Gaza and Israel, you are actually having something that depresses you as a human being. You have a challenge, some things you have been waiting that you are supposed to have gotten. They promise you they will give you that, and they are postponing it. You feel depressed as if the entire world wants to fall. But do not be worried. Allah is with you. And we should ask ourselves, what is depression? I went into psychiatric.org and it defined depression as a major or depressive order. It's a common and serious medical illness that negatively affects how you feel, the way you think, and how you act. Depression causes feeling of sadness and or loss or interest in activities once enjoyed before, you feeling sad or having a depressed mood. Specifically, it is a mood disorder characterized by persistently low mood in which there is a feeling of sadness and loss of interest. Depression is different from the fluctuation in mood that we all experience as part of a normal and healthy life. Temporary emotional responses to the challenges of everyday life do not constitute depression. Depression is a persistent problem, not a passing one. The average length of a depressive episode is a long time, about 6 to 8 months some of the time. Then, let us ask ourselves, what are the things that used to cause depression, that will make one to feel depressed? The first one is genetic. Some people, they inherit it from their parents, and you'll be surprised, why is he behaving this way? It is a biological thing. And at times, it can be a biological changes in the body. For example, women that are pregnant, you see them, they are becoming depressed. And some after childbirth, some even when they are in their menstrual time, you see them that things are changing. I do not know whether you have seen somebody that comes out from maternity home and you see our brain is changing for something. There is no anybody that is doing it. It's just natural biological changes. At times it is environmental, like what we are seeing around us now. It's making one to feel depressed. Sometimes it is life events, the death of a close person, the death of a family member, of a very close friend, the death of a loved one, or separation from a loved one. Those can cause it. And also, constantly, somebody that is being secretive, that is always thinking something to himself. You don't come out. You don't discuss your problem. Depression, that is even most dangerous. It can actually lead to death on time. Some of the time, poverty is the cause why some people are depressed. Some people, it is because they see their colleagues that are making it. Yet it's not that they are poor, but they feel that they have been deprived. They are less successful like their colleagues. Some people, it is high expectation or irrational competition because they see their friend that is using a particular thing. They too, they believe it should be for them, not knowing that Allah has created us differently, and what we have will not be the same. And also, childhood trauma. Some people have been traumatic right from their childhood, and that is what they will grow up with. You will be thinking that they are not good. You will not know that they have a problem. But most commonly now, what is causing this problem of depression now, most of the time among the youth is drug abuse and alcohol. You see the way they take drug, you will pity their life. Some of the time, it is being caused by an injury that you have on the head. And some of the time, it is being caused by chronic pain or lack of understanding of the concept of life. And also, when somebody is thinking that the life is just for us to live, not thinking that the life is for you to worship Allah, you begin to have the wrong impression about what life is. Before you know it, depression sets in. But how do you know you are depressed? And do you know that depression is actually coming to you? The first one you noticed is that your mood becomes depressed. You that you have been very active, everything tires you. You don't want to talk to anybody. You don't want to be involved in anything. And things that you take interest in doing before, you become disinterested. You will not even be part of it again. And some of the time, as a married man or a married woman, when your husband or your wife calls you, you feel that it's disturbing you. You want to stay on your own. The moment you are beginning to see that kind of sign, you should know that depression is setting in your life. And also, when you just discover that you are losing weight, or you could not sleep well in the night, even in the afternoon, and you are having restlessness, and some of the time you feel tired and you are just looking without doing anything, you are asking yourself, what have you been doing? You just discover that you are tired, or you are feeling worthless. Sometimes some people feel that they are nobody, as if there is nothing. They will tell you that they are feeling empty, as if there is nothing. Be rest assured that something is about happening. Then also, worsening ability to think or to concentrate or even at times to make decision. Some of the time, when what is going on in your mind, it is death, or you feel that you should kill yourself, you should realize that you are becoming depressed. You should look for a solution immediately. And when you are appearing miserable, that you see yourself as the most unsuccessful person among everybody, and anytime you look at yourself, you regret your life, that what have you coming to do in this life? The moment you are thinking like that, you should know that you are no more yourself. And when you do not have good body movement again, that your answer when they are talking to you becomes what I refer to as monosyllabic answer. Somebody is talking to you about 5 minutes, you say, okay. They are talking to you, you say, all right. You are talking to you, just one word, and you do not have answer. You should know that you are no more yourself. Something else has entered your body. And at times, some people become so pessimistic. They do not see any hope in anything which they are doing, and something that can make them laugh. You see them that does not even interest them, that they even say, what are they doing? What is this one doing? You should know that person has a problem. And you also notice, when you begin to complain about everything around you, you should know that you are beginning to be depressed. But as Muslims, do we continue to be complaining? As Muslims, when we realize this, how do we come out of it? There are about 3 ways, or so many ways, of treating depression. First and foremost is medical. But if it is like biological or it is genetic, you look for antidepressant drug or you meet a medical doctor, they will help you. And if you are feeling that you can't do anything, you begin to do physical exercise. And reading the Quran, most of the time, it is something that will also help you. But despite all this, let me sincerely now look at depression from Islamic angle. Bear in mind that in Islam, the hardest part of getting out of depression in Islam is not knowing whom to turn to for help. It becomes very hard to trust people. That is, that you are depressed, you do not know what to do, you do not know where to go. In Islam, no human being is burdened with troubles and difficulties that they cannot bear. Most of us, 95% of us, we always put problems on our head, thinking that this is what I want, this is where I want to be. And before you know it, the problem becomes a depressive one. And also, in Islam, we should know that there is no hardship that has no solution. In as much as you have Almighty Allah, let it be in your mind. Like somebody was telling us a one small story. An elderly man, he entered a football field. and he sat. There was a local football match that was going on, and he sat with a small boy, about 10, 12, 13 years old. And the young man, the elderly man, asked the young man, he said, which club are you supporting? He said, we are our own. He mentioned the name of the club. He said, but they are beating you 3-1. He said, Baba, don't worry. It is not yet over. You will see what will happen. And at the end of the match, it was 4-1, 4-3. That the own boy that they won. When each time I reach that, it gives me hope in life about Almighty Allah. That you see, they have been beating them by 3-1. A young boy was telling adults, say, the time is still there. We still have hope. The moment you lose hope, you have lost everything. And when you have hope, you have thinking about that Almighty Allah will be there for you, no matter the circumstance, no matter the situation. Be rest assured, people will think you have a power under you. Not know that power is Almighty Allah. And also, we should understand as Muslims that suffering purifies our humanness. It teaches us the purpose of life. Hunger is a spiritual experience. We remember the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, while he was in the cave of Hira, he was hungry, he was fasting, he was in pain, the temperature was not good. I believe some of us have visited the Garu Hira. You will know what I'm talking about. For you to climb Garu Hira, where the Prophet used to stay, I remember the first time I went there, Wallahi Lazim, I sat 23 times before I could enter where that place. I said, this is where the Prophet came. I said, if I now ask God, if I can get to this place, then I will enter paradise. For even the Prophet to be coming here, Wallahi, whatever this man says, I will take it without any asking question. You need to be there and see what it means. Wallahi Lazim. Then you know that suffering will purify your life. And it will give you a clear vision of what you are going. Do you remember Mahatma Gandhi also, who was not a Muslim, but he used hunger to save his people? It means when you are hungry, when you are challenged, be rest assured there is an opportunity for you to have victory. And you should also understand that you are not in control of your life. And you are not, since you are not in control of your life, you did not bring yourself to this world. Since you didn't bring yourself to this world, you should know that whatever comes, it is from Almighty Allah. There was an elderly man in America that they carry him to old people's home. As he got to the place, the young boy that took the man to his room, the moment the man entered his room, the young man was introducing him to the room that the elderly man was to put. And after introducing, your room is close to the sun, the elderly man said, my boy, don't worry, don't tell me anything. I love everything in this room. He said, have you been here before? He said, I've made up my mind that whatever I get here will be my joy, because happiness is my choice. If you decide to be happy, you will have happiness. If you decide not to be happy, wallahi lazim, you will continue to suffer until thy kingdom come. And also, you should have what I call consciousness and continuous appreciation of what Allah has done for you, and not sadness on what you have not gotten. As Muslim, you should be looking at opportunity that Allah has given to you, that perhaps not many people have that. I do not know whether I've related to you the story of one of my colleagues when I was in the university. Arguably, that we have a brother who we can describe as the poorest student during our time, because he was using just one slippers of 10 naira. You remember that Dunlop slippers at that time? And for 3 years, that man was using just that slippers when we were in the university. You can know when he was in the mosque or not. The moment you check where we used to keep our slippers, you know brother so was around. There was a day he came inside the mosque, and he said, all of us, we should thank Allah for him. We were happy, we thought he has gotten money. And he said, do you know what I saw today? We said, what did you see? He said, as I was going, one vehicle was coming behind me and was making sign that I should leave the road. He said, so people still know that I exist. Thank Almighty Allah for me. Can you see? Why many of us, if I tell you what ended the story of that brother, today, since he graduated, he did not come back to Nigeria. Some international organization came for him. And since the day he graduated, he has been there. Up to today, I did not know whether he has come back. But he did not suffer for one day after graduation. Do you learn to appreciate Almighty Allah? Do you only think of what you are looking for, that it is giving you problem? When you are thinking of it is just what you want, that you want to see, you never think of what Allah has done for you. In life, you have just 3 days. You have yesterday, You have today and you have tomorrow. Yesterday has gone. Today is what you are using. You should use it well and prepare for tomorrow. In Islam, there are two tomorrows. Tomorrow that will be counting by days before you die, and the other tomorrow is the moment you enter your grave. Prepare for it. Also, we should know that in Islam, or even you do not believe whether you are not a Muslim, in the world, nothing is permanent. When Allah is telling us about Ramadan, Allah says, Ajama ma'adudat, that despite the sweetness of Ramadan, Allah says it's for a limited time. It's for a known period. No matter what you have in your mind, no matter the taste of what you are eating, if it is sweet, it will go. If it is bitter, it will go. Either it comes out or it goes in. Definitely it's not going to be there permanently. You should understand that nothing is permanent, but all what you need is to believe in Almighty Allah. Allah says, وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. That whomever rely on Almighty Allah, Allah will be enough for him. And one of the reasons that many people get depressed, it is they have an excessive expectation. As a Muslim, you should have moderation in what you want. If you think you are looking for something, just be putting at the back of your mind that if Allah wishes, that is when you will have it. Let me even ask us, do we actually know the concept of goodness and evil? Many of us will define what is good by ourselves, and we define what is not good by ourselves. Wallahi ladhim. It is only Almighty Allah that knows what is good, and it's only Him that knows what is not good. You can eat a food, that food become a poison to you. You can drink a water, that water becomes a problem to you. Do you know what thing we love most in life? It is air. If Allah can turn that air to something that will sweep everybody and nobody will remain again, you should understand that whatever Allah has destined for you, it is what you have. Quran says, Ya bunayya innaha in takum mithqala habbatin min khardalin fatakun fi sukhratin aw fi samawati aw fil ardi yati bi Allah inna Allaha latifun khabir. Allah said, Luqman was talking to his children. He said, let me tell you, whatever that is destined for you, no matter how small it is, if it is in the stone, if it is in the sky, if it in the water, yet it be Allah in Allah latifun khabir, that Allah will bring it for you, because Allah is merciful and He will let you know. And as Muslims, we should also continue. How do we now prevent or come out of depression? The first one is sincere faith in Almighty Allah. And we should also understand the concept of life, that anything that has a beginning must have an end. You did not come to this life by yourself. And we should also understand the concept of life, where Allah says, وَمَنْ حَيَاتِ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ, that this life you see, it is just a deceitful life. There is nothing that is permanent there. There is nothing that you can say it is good. That is only Allah that determines what is good. That everything you are seeing that is making you to want to kill yourself, Allah says it's just a deceit. Do you remember at a time when there was a Mercedes Benz? You remember V-Boot then? Some people killed because they want to buy V-Boot. Today, anybody that is driving V-Boot, they think is a madman or is one of the poorest person that you will see around. They are the one that will be riding V-Boot. I remember there was a house that one big musician opened when we were small in our area. Today, that house is one of the dirtiest of which we are seeing. And that time, if you enter that house going alone, we as small children that time, we see you as a big person. If you enter that place now, we see you as somebody that has some mental problem. That is to let you know that nothing in this life is permanent. They are all deceit things. What you think that people are enjoying. If you want to know, go and meet our former presidents. When you see some of them, you will now say, is this one a president? And the way we be talking, you will be shocked to your marrow. And this is what everybody want to kill themselves about. And do not forget, moderation in your expectation and consistent consciousness of the beingness of Almighty, of the Supreme Being. Every time you should know that Almighty Allah is with you. And when you know that Allah is with you, then at the end of the day, you will realize that this life does not worth it. The only worth thing is the relationship between you and your God. And you should also know that your interest, if you put your interest, if you attach your happiness to what you are expecting, you wanted to buy a car, you are looking for a promotion, You think somebody will give you a contract, and that is, you think when you get that, that is where your happiness will be. Wallahi, you can never get happiness. If you get that money, if you get that position, if you get that thing that you are looking for, you will begin to see things that are better than what you have gotten. The best way when you need happiness, when you don't want to be depressed, it is put your mind that whatever Allah gives, it is what you are waiting for. If Allah gives you this, you believe that is the best. Wallahi lazim, even your friends will think you have a secret that you are not exposing to them. Everybody will be envious of you, because, and even the so-called big people, they will be looking up onto you as if you are even more than them. You are more than them because your interest is in Almighty Allah. It is not in what they have. And you should maintain good relationship with your friends and family, and do not see yourself as anything above others. See whatever you have as a gift from Almighty Allah. You should have conscience that you are not deserving of anything except Allah's mercy. Whatever you have seen, you are brilliant, you are knowledgeable, you are powerful, you are in position, you are rich. Just be looking at it as an extreme gift from Almighty Allah. If Allah wishes, He can remove it within a twinkle of an eye. And when you have it, continuous appreciation of Almighty Allah. Some people are thankful on their tongue, they are not thankful in their heart. You have to learn to be thankful in both your heart and in your tongue. Continuous recitation of the glorious Quran will also help you, so that you'll be above everybody. And you should learn to discuss things which you enjoy doing. Do things that you like doing. And the best place for you to be happy is to go and help other people. Wallahi, try it. When you see other people who are in problem, begin to help them. You will see the kind of joy that you will find in yourself. On the road, clean the road, clean the mosque, clean your compound where you are not the only one there. You have money, they want to buy fuel in the compound for something, buy it. And you see, when you see people that have light because of you, wallahi, you will sit down outside and you'll be thanking Almighty Allah who has used you. But if you think you are the only one who have everything, it can never give you happiness. You will just be suspicious. You should learn also to be looking into the nature, and when you check into the nature, you will appreciate Almighty Allah. The Prophet was reported to have said that لا يشير أحدكم على أخيه بسلاح فإنه لا يدري لعل شيطان ينزع في يده فيقع في حفرة من النار. The Prophet was reported to have said, nobody of you should point out towards his Muslim or any human being with a weapon, for he does not know when shaitan may tempt him and hit him, and thus he will fall into the pit of fire. Inna Allah ya'muru bil adli wal ihsan wa ita'i dhil qurba wa yanha al fahsha'i wal munkar wal baghi ya'izukum la'allakum tadhakkarun. Allah commands justice, the doing of good, and liberate to kith and kin. He forbids all shameful deeds, injustice and rebellion. He instructs you that you may receive admonition. ربنا عليك توكلنا وعليك أنبنا وعليك المصير. ربنا افتح بيننا وبين قومنا بالحق وأنت خير الفاتحين. ربنا أفرج علينا صبرا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.